Okay, go.
This is my sister, Lindsay Fike. We were both brought up in similar upbringings, and right now she considers herself agnostic.
So, first question, what do you get out of your faith? What does Christianity do for you?
I think it's the pleasure per se to know that when I pass on, to know that I can spend eternity with God and Jesus.
Don't a lot of religions have an afterlife? Speak of an afterlife?
Well, I mean, yeah, but not all of them. I mean, for Christianity, basically it's like a ladder came down to you and basically said just climb the ladder and you can go to heaven, while other religion says you have to work towards going to heaven.
Well, there was a long time where the Catholic Church said that if you paid this amount to the church, you could go to heaven.
That's more like I like to call them hypocrites, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that you can pay your way to heaven, and I think that's a really horrible way of saying if you can pay me a certain amount of money, you can go to heaven. I don't believe that at all.
But how does, if you can prove that there is a heaven, how does anybody know how to get to it?
Because, well, with the existence of Jesus Christ, he made it very clear the way to go to heaven is through him, and if you believe in him and the sacrifice he did for us, then we get to go to heaven.
What about Judaism that doesn't even believe that Jesus Christ was who he said he was? There's a whole religion formed around it.
Well, I mean, you're right, Christians branch off from Judaism in that aspect, but Judaism, they still have to, if you were Jewish, I think you would say, if you committed a sin, you would have to do a sacrifice, or at least in that time, you would have to do a sacrifice to basically forgive yourself of that sin. Well, Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. And if I guess if people say that Jesus wasn't who he said he was, then I mean there are so many different things that he's done to prove that he is who he says he was.
But if it's that clear, how come the whole world doesn't believe it?
Well, first, you mentioned Judaism before. The reason why they didn't believe it was because they, at the time, wanted a Messiah that would free them from the Romans. Well, Jesus didn't want to do that. He wanted to free them of their sins. He wanted to get people to go to heaven. That's why he didn't go with all the heavy religious people. He went to all the tax collectors, the sinners, the people that everyone hated. Because they were the least likely to hear the message. So he wanted them to hear it. As for the reason why others don't believe it, I think that's because it's because they don't want to believe.
Do you think that if you were born into a different religion that you would have still found your way to Christianity?
I think I would, because looking at all the facts that I know right now about Christianity and what I know about other religions now, I think that at least if I was trying to look for a logical religion that made sense to me, I would go for Christianity.
Okay. In that statement, I would then assume that you knew a good amount about other religions. Can you tell me one other religion and what the basic foundations are? Something outside of Christianity, not Catholic, not Jewish. What's one other religion and what's the basis that they believe?
I believe I know a decent amount about Buddhism.
Okay.
Well, Buddhism has a bunch of different aspects to it.
And what is their heaven? How do you get there?
Well, depending on some Buddhists, they don't really have a heaven. It's more like if you do good actions in this life, you will be born as a king or something. And if you do bad actions in the next life, you can become a roach, a cockroach.
They believe in nirvana and that the release of self is heaven and that being but either way, it doesn't matter. How can you confidently say that Christianity is the most logical way if you haven't done the research to know what other people believe and why they believe it.
Can you repeat that question one more time? Sorry.
How can you confidently say that you would believe this above all else if you don't know what else other people believe and why they believe it?
It's because, well, I mean, I haven't, I need to do more research on other religions. That's for sure. And I wanted to take world religions because to understand others, but unfortunately I'm not. But what I'm getting at is that obviously I need to learn more about other religions and why they believe that stuff. But for right now, I know that Christianity is the right way purely because of everything that I've learned about it. And, like, there are tons of written documents about Jesus, even from non-Christians. Non-Christians have even documents saying he was alive. Yeah, he did what he did. They just say like Judaism believes that. I believe that they say that demons gave him powers, and that's how he was able to do what he did. But it's just that knowing that Jesus actually did everything that the Bible says he did, and all the things I know about Christianity is why I feel like I'm there.
If I